What is up, fellas?
What?
How is it going this lovely Wednesday evening? Nice to see you. We should tell the people who we are and what we're doing here as they roll in. The crowds are amassing.
The crowd goes wild.
The crowds are going wild. It's the Land Geek guys. Zeno, put those back in. Seriously, you're going to sound so much better.
No, it's
No, you sound much worse now than you did just a second ago. Matt Forbes, tell the new listeners who we are and what we're doing here.
Well, these two guys answer your questions, have some cocktails, and give advice. And I'm also here. That's how this works. So that's the show. So if you've got questions about land, buying, selling, wholesaling, flipping, having hot dogs, whatever, put them in the comments because you got some real smart guys here who are going to answer these questions. So that's what we do.
That's what we do. And you, dude, you discredit yourself. You're
come on. You guys are the Land Geek guys. I just drink scotches on most Wednesdays or Thursdays if I don't accidentally go to bed early.
Yeah, we missed you last week. Did you like? We might have drunk dialed you.
It's quite the voicemail I got. Yeah, I woke up at about 3 a.m. and was like, I missed Nightcap. Back to bed.
Mike was all nervous about me leaving you the voicemail, and I'm like, it'll be fine.
No, I thought it was hilarious. It'll be fine. Actually, I thought I would get a little more flack for completely whiffing last week. So I thought you both were very gentle.
Well, we can't give you flack publicly.
Well, yeah, I mean, even privately, though. I mean, if that's all I get for not showing up, I might not show up all the time.
Mike Zano, how are you, buddy? You're quiet tonight.
Reserved.
I'm having some audio issues. I'm waiting for Black Friday to get my brand new huge Surface. So I apologize to the massive audience. I'm just going to switch over to my mic here while you guys are talking, though.
All right, sounds good.
I know you say, do I sound horrible?
Yeah.
I like the truth to make you feel good.
Okay, fine. You sound really good. You sound super okay. I don't know what to tell you.
We would actually appreciate a little bit of audience feedback at this point in time. Let us know how our audio is, because a couple weeks ago, I was really loud. Matt Forbes was medium, and Mike Zeno was this little voice. It was like, Papa, Mama, and Junior Bear. And anytime I can be Papa Bear over Matt Forbes, I mean, that is exciting, but...
that is a cold day in hell, Bosman.
Oh, man. So the viewers are rolling in. Good to see everybody.
Cool.
Say hello. We do have a comment from Barry Ribs. Barry Ribs is here. He watched the show last week in the chat. You said you'd send me template for offer letters. You wrote the email but didn't... Well, Barry, I don't know if I got your email, if we got your email or not. How can we do this? Send your email right now to scott@landgeekguys.com, and I'll make sure to get you a copy of that offer letter tomorrow. scott@landgeekguys.com.
That seems fair.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Something?
Chad Swanson.
Of course you can say something.
No, I said you didn't do something? I missed that.
I guess I might have dropped the ball. I'm not sure. Barry wanted a copy of the offer letter. Barry, another great way to get a copy of the offer letter is to order Mark's book, Dirt Rich. I believe there's a link to some free material when you purchase that. So, but anyway, please email me and I'll just get it to you tomorrow. No big deal. So, fellas, we got some topics tonight. Matt Forbes, we're getting feedback from the masses that they like the new nightcap format, where we come up with 2 or 3 topics ahead of time. And
Jesus. Wish somebody had thought about that about a year ago.
See, now we used to do it, and then we just got away from it, and now...
We got lazy. But there's a nice blend of having a topic, but then also answering questions. So if
I
you're
agree.
out there and you're in flight school, or you just went through flight school, or you're doing your first mailer, or you're down in the dumps because you suck at land, or you think you do, ask a question. I mean, like, I fundamentally never understand this. You know, people spend so much time, energy, and effort trying to get this business right. And then you two jokels show up on a Wednesday night, and you've been doing it for a collective, 500 years, and you're willing to answer people's questions. They're not like cursory answers where you don't really get into the meat and potatoes. Like, you guys dig in, or we all dig in, but people don't ask. So if you're out there and you're watching, ask. Why not?
Awesome.
So I'm glad we had good topics. So what are our topics then tonight? This is exciting.
Okay, so the first topic is a good one. Let me pull them up here. So this is from a post in the Facebook group. And this is the first statement. Starting to lose motivation. Right?
Oh, no.
Yeah. And here's the story. No. Here's the story. But not sure what we're doing wrong. My business partner and I have sent out about 6 mailings to several counties in Florida and Tennessee, about 7,000 mailings total. Mostly letters, did some postcards, did some 2-page blind offers, pulled data from Agent Pro. Everything looks good, but we have not been able to find one person who is motivated to sell their property for anything less than some astronomical amount higher than the property is actually worth. The only thing we haven't tried, which we actually just sent out yesterday, is tax distressed properties. What are we doing wrong here? We're targeting out-of-state owners, 1 to 10 acres, 0% improvements. The lots look great, and we get calls, but absolutely zero motivation by the seller.
How many letters?
Mike Zano, 7,000 mailings. Oh, that's a bad echo, dude. 7,000 mailings.
You're all messed up.
7,000 mailings and not a deal. What is going on? Matt Forbes, I think there's a few things here. There's a few things here we could talk about, we could diagnose. But first thoughts.
My first thought is when you're new, number one, you want to stick where the other terms land investors are. If you're in Tennessee, not to say this business doesn't work in Tennessee, but one, I would question your choices. A lot of people want to run away from where all the other land investors are because there's too much competition, but they're all doing deals in those areas. And so when you're new, it's critical that you have success so that you can keep that momentum going. So I would question where you're mailing. Again, not to say that Tennessee, and I own a bunch of property in Florida, so kind of depends on your county. But 7,000 mailers is a lot. It does. It would sort of beg the question as to your pricing. I mean, typically, if you're not getting anything back, the easiest indication is that the market is telling you that your pricing is off, maybe too low. But I don't know. We would need a lot. I would think we would want way more detail into that, but I would say we have pricing issues, and I question county choices. Those are my 2 big things to look at.
Mike Zano, you can expand on that, but what about postcards, blind offers, and monetary offers? Maybe you could talk on that. They've done postcards and blind offers, but I don't know if they've given actual. Anyway.
Where did they mail?
What are your thoughts? Tennessee and Florida.
Tennessee and Florida.
How many letters?
7,000. 7,000 mailings.
7,000?
7,000 mailings.
Yeah. Not all letters. Some are postcards.
No accepted offers.
Right.
Yeah,
Something's wrong. Something is dramatically wrong.
Very wrong.
What recipe did they follow? Can they get on a call with one of us like this week? Because there's something dramatically wrong there.
Well, you cut out. Can't hear you now, Mike.
You need to.
Now we can.
Yeah, we need to get on a call with them. It's hard to diagnose. That's a lot to dig into, but I can tell you right now, there's no way possible if they follow the method that we talk about that there'd be nothing. I don't know where they got their data, number one. I don't know where they're mailing, number two. Are they doing infill lots? A lot of people come to this business, and I don't know the whole story. I'm just going to say common things that happen. They just say, oh, I live near this area, I'm going to try it. Or they mail infill lots. Or they, even if you mailed blind, if you mailed, just postcards, you'd get, there's something dramatically wrong there. That's way not normal.
Yeah. There's something off. I don't know who that was, but I agree. They should just get on a call with one of you guys. And it's probably a series of things, but 7,000's like an aggressive amount of mailings to get nothing, right? Like I've done, 3, 4, 500 and gotten zero, and the market's just telling me I'm off on my pricing, right? But 7,000 is a different ball of wax.
Yeah, you're looking at a $4,000 to $5,000 investment there, right? And
well, not really though.
Right? Not an investment.
No. It's it's an investment all day. But if you're doing postcards, because I did wholesaling for a while, right? So, if you're doing postcards, it's much, much cheaper. If you're doing second class mail, it's much, much cheaper. I mean, they definitely spend $3,500 or $3,000.
They sent all at once.
Yeah, but we don't know. That's the problem. Like I would almost want to bring him on, but no, one of you guys should do a call with him because
they have to get on a call with us, and we have to unpack that because hey, if you're that willing to take that big of massive action, you need to get on a call with us to straighten that out because you're definitely not afraid of action, but something went dramatically wrong.
Here's what I would say too. Like, I love our training because we really teach you what areas to target, and we teach you which properties move the fastest. And maybe a little bit counterintuitive to some people, but we're not buying expensive land. We're not buying land for $20,000 and selling it for, $50,000 to $100,000. We're buying land for $1,000 to $2,000, and mostly, right? It goes back to the minnows, dolphins, and whales right? We're buying a lot of minnows.
Yeah.
There's great velocity in those small deals. You can sell
1 to 3 is a huge yield. 1,000 to 3,000 is a sick yield at $100 a month. I mean, you could. The velocity of that money is insane.
Yeah. And so we teach you how to do this at Land Geek. The other thing is that we deliberately teach you to go low and slow. Right? It's like grandma's Sunday roast, low and slow. You put the roast in the oven at noon and you eat at 5 or 6 at night. Low and slow with the mailings. The reason we go low and slow with the mailings is because you can test the market.
Yeah.
Right. And so if they sent 7,000 out and they weren't really prepared, had it gone right, they would have been swamped with intake that may have just overwhelmed them. I'm not going to say they're fortunate it didn't go right because that's not the right, but I'm saying that could have been insane amount of craziness. But definitely, if you mailed them out too quickly, you didn't adjust to the market, I don't know. And look, here's the other thing. I would be willing to bet dollars to donuts they didn't focus on one particular subdivision. They cast a wide net over a huge area, and they didn't. So it's like, oh, an acre, it's $500. 5 acres is $2,500. Let's mail the county. That happens so often, and it makes sense on one end, but it's totally wrong on another sense. So you have to be careful. I don't know how many times you say that you got to be ultra focused, laser focused, surgical, as Tate says. You really have to dive into a specific area so that you just simplify your pricing model. Otherwise, you most likely just missed the pricing boat by a long shot.
So here, but like you said, Zano, anybody who's sending out 7,000 mailings, talk to us, please. Like, we have so much proof of concept to we're confident that we can help you out with this. If I can't help you, if Mike Zano can't help you, Scott Todd, who is the epitome of what this land business can do for people, can help you without a doubt.
Well,
so
we can definitely help them. Sometimes, though, people, honestly, they don't always. I'm not saying this person like to hear like the truth of the matter. There's certain areas they think that they want to own land, and that's great. You can. You just have to mail thousands of letters, and you'll get a deal or two, and that's just a different model. But if you're looking to get high volume deal flow, then you really got to dial in to where we go. And there's a specific reason why we do that. And look how many people have made mistakes on their first mailing, like zero offer dollars or this or that. That's why you unpack it slowly, like you're talking about, Scott, because there's so much room for mistake in the beginning that you just need to unravel that mistake 100 at a time. Right? Boom, boom, boom. So if they did 7,100 at a time, well, there'd be a different story right now. They would have been 500-600 in, been like, whoa, what's going on here? Something's up, right? It would have been another indicator.
All right, awesome. So, a lot of stuff in that one post. I thought we'd address it.
Yeah, we can't sugarcoat that one. You got to get on a call with us. That's something that's like seriously went haywire. And don't give up. You were crazy enough to take that massive action. Be crazy enough to get on a call with us and talk about it.
Yeah. Somebody who's willing to go spend 7,000 somethings.
Like legitimate. That's like,
that's
this
legit.
is not us selling it. That's a free of charge call. Just talk to us, like legit. Yeah. Just telling you, we'll unpack it for you. Like, honestly, whoever you are, please set up a call.
Well, so Barry Ribs is like, is there a phone number?
So
yeah, give him my cell phone. 978-489-9213.
So Barry, I just put up in the chat, Barry, you can go to thelandgeek.com. There are a lot of great resources on thelandgeek.com. We have some free resources on there, right? Schedule a call with us at thelandgeek.com/training, and we can talk about strategy. Talk about the best strategy for you moving forward. For some people, it's the Toolkit, which is a DIY program. For some people, it's Flight School, which the success rate of Flight School is sky high. What's up, Zano?
Might I say that Matt Forbes looks extra relaxed tonight? I don't know what it is. He looks extra chill.
He had a week off.
What is it?
He had a week off.
Oh, Matt, can you do us a favor, please? I'm dry here. It's been so long since you said it.
Toasty action? I'm in. 10:30, man. Everybody grab a glass. Have a cocktail. Woohoo!
Cheers to you, fellas.
15-year red breast. This is the 15-year red breast. You put it on your tongue, you hold it for a second, it's like you open up an Irish creamer, and it's just so good.
All right, I'll be at your house tomorrow. That sounds good.
Yeah.
You
better do the Thanksgiving edition here. Come on,
right.
come in, boss man.
Come on, boss man.
I'll divorce you both. All right, we got some comments coming in. Chad Swanson, how are you, buddy? Hope things are going well. Hope you're getting some sleep with that newborn. Keith Forshea says, good evening, geeks. Another question from Barry Ribs.
I keep thinking of a famous singer. Who am I thinking of when you say that word?
Barry
what?
Barry Manilow, Barry White.
Yeah, I keep thinking of a famous singer every time you say his name. He sounds famous.
All right, so Barry Ribs, he must be a resident of New Jersey. I'm going to let you New Englanders handle this one. Would you recommend buying land in a high-tax state like New Jersey?
Taxes have nothing to do with it.
Listen, if you can buy it 25 cents on the dollar, buy it any way you can. The thing is, we go to specific areas because we want to buy a lot of property, and we want to buy it quickly. We don't want to wait for thousands of letters and for that one person out of... 10,000 who's going to sell us a 5,000 is going to sell us an infill lot. You could do that. Look at this model that we teach is a framework that works everywhere. But if you want the velocity, you want the quick turnaround, you want to recapture your money in 10 months, go. If you buy in New Jersey, I doubt you're going to get enough of a down payment and monthly payment to get your money out in a year. I just don't think it's going to happen. But when you buy land in these other areas, it's boom, boom, boom. You get it back, buy more. Get it back, buy more. That's what we're all about. So Barry, buy it if you can get 25 cents on the dollar. But I wouldn't expect like rapid fire deals.
Yeah. Well, that and when you in the places that we buy, a lot of the people who buy it don't go there, or they go there to go camping, or they go there to go spend a weekend or whatever. That doesn't really happen in Jersey, and I live in Massachusetts.
In Jersey, I guess. I don't know. I never been.
Well, but I could see it. Definitely not Jersey, but New Hampshire or Maine is more of the kinds of properties that we go and buy.
Yeah,
like you don't
probably get some in Maine, don't you think? I think there's probably a few areas you can attack.
I think you. Here's the deal: like you could, but why bother?
Right.
We have the areas where stuff sells left, right, and center. So why am I going to Jersey? Right? Like I would love to do it in Massachusetts.
Jersey Shore.
Yeah.
Polly.
Like it'd be great to do it in Massachusetts. But I got news for you. Like it'll.
Polly.
What's that?
What's that show, boss? Polly. Jersey Shore.
Yeah, Jersey Shore. Yeah.
Are you a fan of that, Forbes?
Here's the thing.
God no. Jesus.
Here's the other thing to think about. You want to follow the breadcrumbs. How many land investors are in New Jersey? Not many.
Yeah.
Well,
mistake that M&M's made. You know what mistake they made?
What's that?
They didn't sponsor ET. Guess who? Guess who did? Is the other
Reese's
one?
Pieces.
Reese's Pieces.
They were like, we're not going to sponsor some alien movie.
The other part about so there are land people in Jersey, who flip, raw land, but they don't flip it on terms. That's the thing. Like if you want to go try to buy it for 25 cents and flip it for cash, go ahead. But if you want to be in terms, if you're looking for passive, I get a check in the mail whether I work or not money, then it doesn't work everywhere. It is what it is. Like you got to go to these places where it does work. So yeah, Jersey's out.
We got hidden messages on our screen. We should do that from now on. Finding Waldo. Like I just found never split the difference in the background there. Like I think this is kind of cool. You hide little things, little subtle hints in the background.
I have that for work. Yeah. I always have that for work and so it's usually pretty visible. And every once in a while someone will be like, "Oh, isn't that Chris Voss?" And I'll be like, "Yeah, let me tell you about what he said about what we teach you about cold calling, what he came out of his mouth."
You summarize that book in 2 or 3 lines?
Never split the difference?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just that, no, I can't.
No.
Not in the Cliff Notes version. There's too much in there. It's too good.
A lot to unpack. That's the word of the night, by the way. Unpack.
Apparently, it's unpack. Yeah, there is a lot to unpack in that. Yeah, but I do recommend his masterclass. If anybody's not watched that, Chris Voss's masterclass is so worth $99
on sales or what?
If you sell anything, you should be watching that.
Nice.
I'll take that to the bank. Chris Voss masterclass.
I'll give you my login, Zeno. You can go watch it for free.
I'll give you my login.
What about your other buddy over here?
Friends.
Yeah, you can watch it too. Yeah, no, absolutely. I'll send it to both of you clowns.
Oh, okay.
It's great.
All right.
I didn't know you were interested.
That was a New England connection there.
Why wouldn't I be interested? You know what? You're talking about joining up tomorrow at each other's homes. You're saying I'll share my login info with you. You know what?
You're still bent on that.
Yeah. You know what I want to do right now? I want to do this right now.
No.
You let that cloud your judgment.
Oh, you're looking good, boss. Was that a new sweatshirt?
Yeah,
it's new, isn't it?
I got a haircut today.
It all's coming together.
It's coming together. And I got the
beard.
beard. All right, so
we talked about crazy amount of offer letters. We talked about, what was the second one we were talking about?
Yeah, Barry was just wondering about New Jersey. But I would just say follow the breadcrumbs. Do this, Barry.
Yeah.
Go to www.landmodo.com. That's MODO.com. And see where other land investors are working.
I think he said high tax. We typically do look for states where the taxes are low, because if delinquent 3, 4, 5 years and it's $50 a year, it's not a big deal. I don't know what a New Jersey property 3 or 4 years in would look like, and maybe it sounds like could be a high amount.
Oh, I read that differently. That's probably how he meant it, Zeno, is what you were thinking. But for whatever reason, I run into people about this business, and they're like, "Oh, that business you're in doesn't make sense because you got to pay capital gains tax on everything you do. Like it's that you get killed in taxes, and I'm like, yeah, it's freaking awesome. I pay a shit ton of taxes. You know what else I do? I keep the other 2/3. It's fabulous. And
it's
people
not a
just
good
have
incentive
this.
not to do it.
Well, they've got the mindset like, well, I got to cheat on the taxes. I got to, like, oh, if you pay too much in taxes, then therefore it's a bad industry. And you're like, no, it's fabulous. Yeah, you pay a lot in taxes. Like, that's just part of the game, right? But I'm not paying a lot in taxes making a 12% return. I'm paying a lot of taxes making a 350% return. So, like, yeah, Uncle Sam can have his money.
Nice.
So I read it differently. So, yeah, I imagine.
Well, we don't know. It could be interpreted either way, actually. So
yeah, no, I think you're right.
Valid answers.
I think you're right. And by the way, it would get repossessed in a hurry in other states. In New Jersey, like in Massachusetts, they would. I don't think you're getting the redemption period as if you were in Nowheresville, Texas, where the county doesn't have a clue what's going on. Right. I imagine in Massachusetts it's pretty tight. Like you don't pay your taxes, like they take your land, no problem. I feel. So.
Look at Gandalf the Grey. I think wore a sweatshirt like that. I love it.
Yeah, put that hood on. Let's see that hood.
Here, wait.
Now Gandalf the White.
I have a pipe.
There it is. You got a staff and a hat.
Wow.
Anyway, Darth.
8K for 2 anchors.
Any viewers?
Darth Sept is watching. Darth, what do you think of the new season of Mandalorian? Darth says, Barry, I'm from South Jersey. Run away from Jersey fast. I love it. Peter Zero says, postcards are not awesome. I love it. Chad Swanson, here we have a question. Do you ever have sellers contact you interested in selling? You do the due diligence, and then they ghost you.
Of course.
Yeah, people are people, whether they're buying or selling or just being people. People are people, and they're going to ghost you. That just goes back to having a large amount of mailing and consistent mailing and a large amount of potential deals. And the ones that don't ghost you, you'll buy. I mean, people are people, right? What do you think? You guys agree? I mean, they're going to ghost you on the buy side, the sell side. Your 100%. Friends are going to ghost you at times. People are people.
Yeah, look,
I mean, your best buddy will ghost you. Your best buddy will ghost you.
That goes to the... We have this called this Voxer whole segment we're going to do some night. And one of them is the Ignora.
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 The ultimate Ignora last week.
You were.
So Zano hits it on the head, right? It's sales. What are you going to do? Like, sales is a numbers game. It is what it is. You have a certain waterfall. You have to talk to a certain number of people to buy a piece of property, and that's going to happen.
Does point to the fact of Scott Todd's money loves speed, because the efficiency and, how quickly you can move this down the pipeline could make the difference between buying and selling something, because people change their minds. People just get something happens in their life, whatever. If you don't move this quickly and efficiently down the pipeline, these things happen. But think about it. You get this rapport, like a Facebook conversation. And it's pop, 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 and all of a sudden you stop. You lose momentum. But if you're in contact, back, forth, D, boom, bang, boom, deal's done. But as soon as you break that, you open up the opportunity for things to go south.
Yeah, I agree.
Gotta have a system. Systematic. What's that? World control, automatic, systematic, world control, magnetic, genetic to soothe your soul.
Wow.
I hope not.
Wow.
Systematic, it's rhythmatic, systematic, world control. Remember that song? Who sings that?
I have no idea.
No idea.
Chad Swanson.
Up in the 80s?
Can I say something to Chad real quick?
Yeah.
So Chad, what I would just encourage you to remember is that stuff pops up in everybody's lives, right? So you may have had a conversation with a motivated seller yesterday, and you think the deal is going to go through. You're doing your due diligence. You're sending them, emails to follow up, and they just fall off the map, right? Well, just remember that things pop up in everybody's lives. And it goes a long way if you just send them a kind note, email, postcard, mailer, whatever, and just say, hey, I hope you're well. I don't know what happened, but, in so many words, we're still motivated to purchase from you. We're still motivated to send you a check within days. And that can go a long ways. So, you know what? Have a stack of postcards next to your desk for those people and write them a handwritten postcard and say, listen, I'm still here. And when you're ready, I'm here. You never know.
Think of the flip side of that, Bossman. I mean, it's not always a negative. How many times we had this? Someone's looking to buy a property, or you thought they go, then all of a sudden, a couple of months later, a week later, they just pick a down payment. So they come out of the blue. So things happen on the good side of that as well. People are just people.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going on, and all of a sudden, boom, they buy a property from you. But I talked to this guy, I thought he was all good to go, nothing, and a couple weeks later, boom, out of nowhere, he buys a. So I mean, these things happen on the positive side as well. It's just people being people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
You can't take people out of people.
All right.
People being people.
We got 2 more topics, but let's get to this question. Keith Forshea, our favorite land photographer, become land investor, which is pretty cool. He has a question, new guy question. Can you explain LG Pass? And we love LG Pass. Why?
Proprietary automated. I thought it was software system, but Scott Todd said something different last time. But what is it? It's Land Geek proprietary automated software service. Maybe?
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those 2.
Basically, it's just this really awesome software that you can connect to an outside mailing service via an API key. Doesn't matter. It sounds technical, but basically you log up your CSV file and you merge a couple files and boom, your letters go out. People respond. You track their responses. When it comes time to buy the property, it'll make the deed proper to the county or the state where the property it is. When you sell the property, it'll create the deed or the sell financing paperwork, and there's a host of other things it does. It just keeps you organized. It gives you the ability to do what I just said a few minutes ago. Move that down the pipeline quickly, efficiently, and get it into your inventory.
Yes. It helps us mail. It helps us keep track of properties. It helps us generate paperwork. They're all new. It's evolving all the time. It's becoming better and better and better.
Wicked.
We can drip mailings. So Keith Forshea, you could upload 1,000 mailings into the service or into LG Pass, and you could drip 30 a day if you want. So that kind of makes it nice. Makes for more consistent deal flow.
That would have been a good idea with those 7,000, because
Yes.
then by week 3 or 4 you'd be like, put the brakes on, something's happening.
Yes, exactly. There are going to be some more capabilities coming forward with Zero and sending checks automatically. There are going to be more capabilities coming forward with Process Moto. Process Moto is Scott Todd's new workflow system for land. It's going to be absolutely amazing. So this thing continues to evolve, but Keith, your return on time invested, here's the bottom line. Your return on time invested for $99 a month is so crazy that it's very worth it.
What are you drinking, boss man?
I'm drinking my grind core espresso milk stout. I love this stuff.
Whoa, that looks good.
It is really good. It's from the Surly Brewing Company of St. Paul, Minnesota. And it's only got 5.3% alcohol by volume for a stout. That's not very high, but I tell you what, it is tasty. Tasty stuff. Matt Forbes, you look bored. Are you bored?
No, that's not.
Let's unpack Matt Forbes' office a little bit more. Matt, why do you have a lantern? You worried about the power losing down in the office?
That's
there?
a legit lantern.
It looks legit.
That is not like something you found in a barn. Like I ordered that, like it cost $100.
That got some flammable material in it. That's not one of those fake LED ones. That's
no,
like
that's a legit lantern. It's got lamp oil and everything in it. They're really hard to find now, and I lose power a lot. I'm like the last pole is 2 poles down. Like when power goes out, I'm the last guy to get it back. So we can be out for days.
You got a generator?
I do. Yeah, I got a generator,
That's the next
transfer
step.
switch, all that good stuff.
You guys are
But no,
fancy.
that's like a legit.
Generators.
I'm a crazy prepared kind of guy.
You
I
are
asked
a Boy Scout leader, aren't you?
I am. Yeah, I asked my wife for Snatch Blocks for Christmas, or any of our.
What?
Yeah,
What?
Break that down for us.
they're not what you two are thinking. You should go look them up. They're awesome.
I don't know what it is.
Something
Tell
for
us.
Survival purposes?
What's that?
Survival purposes?
Yeah, Snatch Block is like I don't know how the hell are we talking about this. It is if this were like a pulley and there was a pulley wheel here, it
Yep.
goes like this, and they open, so you can just go into a line and stick it up, and then you have it and essentially in a pulley. So you can go with 2 or 3 of those things done properly. Yeah, you can go move cars and take trees out of the road and all that kind of stuff, which is
wow.
why.
It creates like a 3-to-1 situation?
Well, it's a 2-to-1 for every pulley you use, but yeah, you can. I watched a guy online with like 35 different pulleys, used like a garden tractor, and he ripped a tree down, ripped it right out of the ground.
Like nothing.
He was working at it. I mean, it took a while, but it's we can talk about anything else now.
All right, that's the weekly breakdown of Matt Forbes' office. Back to our regular schedule.
Okay, there we go. That's a little better.
All right, awesome. Thank you for that, Matt Forbes.
You're welcome.
That was very enlightening. Thank you.
Keith Forche, hopefully that helps. Drop me an email if you want, Scott at landgeekguys.com. Or
Scott's got it.
right. And I can send you info. I can send you a demo video on LG Pass if you want. Johnny Clement says, hello, fellas. Sully Hubbard says, what?
You can also come Monday night and talk to Scott Todd about it.
Well, yeah, let's touch on that. Sully Hubbard says, hey, y'all, loving flight school. Scott is amazing. That's awesome. He is amazing. Scott is amazing.
She could have meant you.
Yeah, but he didn't, and we know it.
No, I'm definitely the less famous Scott. That's for sure.
Oh, come on, Bosman. That's not true.
Hands off. What's going on Monday night?
All right. Okay. So, Land Geek community, this is exciting. Monday night, the 23rd.
Monday.
At 9 p.m. Eastern.
9 p.m. Eastern.
We are having a flight school Q&A. I'm waiting for you, Forbes.
Flight school Q&A.
With none other than Scott Todd.
Scott Todd!
Scott Todd will be joining us. And who is this meant for? Well, really, it's meant for people who are considering flight school, right? Yeah. But really, it's meant for everybody. This is a Land Geek Lounge event. Sorry, my dog's bark collar is beeping at me. This is a Land Geek Lounge event. Mark has encouraged everyone to attend. The intent of the call is a Q&A call about flight school. However, if you've been through flight school, please join us. There is going to be a huge giveaway. Huge giveaway Monday night.
Are we not telling everybody what it is? We're going to wait and surprise them?
I think we should tell them what it is because I think Mark's been talking about it in his emails.
Yeah, what are we working here? What business?
I mean, land, and there's going to be a land giveaway Monday night for everybody who is in attendance at the Q&A. So if you're there, we throw your name in a hat, and you have the chance of winning a 1 acre parcel in Arizona. That's one football field of land in Arizona, Navajo County, Arizona, that is valued at $1,200 to $1,500 cash or more on financing, more on terms.
I love it. Yeah, and plus all the great information that we're gonna be talking about. I always love doing these when we do these with Scott Todd because he's always talking about something cool. There's always something to learn, no matter where you are in the business. So I look forward to these all the time.
Yeah, so it'll be a lot of fun. So come one, come all, win some land. Let's talk about flight school. Let's talk about your experience in flight school. Chad Swanson is watching. I know you had an amazing experience in flight school. Sully just started flight school. Hopefully it's going well. Sounds like it is. Keith Forshea, maybe you're thinking about it. Come join us. Barry Ribs, he says, where is this? Barry Ribs, it's on Zoom. And if you email me, scott@landgeekguys.com, I will send you event details.
That's the button.
Nice.
What's that, Forbes?
I love it when we use the emotions. Can the audience see these thumbs up or just us?
I'm going to put my email in the chat.
I don't know. I'd like to know if the audience can see our emotions, because it'd be less fun if they couldn't.
If they can see our emotions? Our emoticons, you mean?
Oh, don't cry, Zeno. It's okay, buddy. It's okay, buddy. Little buddy.
Okay.
Little buddy.
So, how many topics have we covered so far?
We've only
All the
covered
topics.
one. We got two more.
Oh,
Well,
let's
the,
go to topic 2.
the next one's
Listen,
quick.
1 drink per topic. Let's go. Topic 2.
Woohoo!
The next one's quick, all right? So I just want to touch on this briefly. There was a post in the Facebook group about using a mobile notary and what that looks like. And I just thought we would talk about it real briefly to convey to the audience and Land Geek Nation how this works, because it's really simple, right? The best way to close is direct. Direct means that, it's just direct. It's really easy. Matt Forbes, you're going to sell me your property. Here's what I'm going to do. I am going to create a deed. I'm going to send it to you via email. You're going to print it off, go get it notarized, scan it back to me. I record it and send you payment. That's direct, right? Some people every now and then, they're not comfortable with that method of closing. So we then opt for a mobile notary. Mobile notary, Mike Zano, how does it work?
Yeah, so they become sort of the safe third party. And, there's different prices. You can just, what you do is you find one. I think you can just Google it, look on Yelp, look on anywhere that gives someone a rating, and you call them up and you just let them know, hey, there's someone that lives near you that I need to have notarize a document. What I'd like to see if you could do is once they notarize it, I'll give you a check to pay them. You hand them the check, and they will hand you the deed, and you'll put it in the envelope that I provide to you, and it'll come back to me. Or you could ask them to scan you a picture of it first, then do that. So it's just like a safe third party that will conduct the transaction, and it'll ease the apprehension on the seller side.
Correct.
Awesome. They're like your walking escrow agent. It's pretty nice.
Yeah. You know what? It could be up to, I've paid upwards of $80, $90 depending, but sometimes I paid as low as $20 or $30. It's all dependent.
And who pays those fees, Mike Zano?
It's negotiable. And a lot of people, what they do is say, listen, if you don't want to close direct, we could, use a mobile notary at your expense. But, you can split it with them. It's really, that's really something that's, we're not going to split hairs over $50 on these deals we do. We've got them at the right price for us to make a lot of money. So I don't mind if I pay it, but most people, I think, they defer to having the seller pay that because they're the ones that are sort of worried about the safety of the transaction.
Once you throw out that it's $90 and they're going to pay for it, shockingly, so many people will do a direct closing. Hilarious. Yes. But we use them all the time. I've only had one bad experience with a mobile notary. Every single other one goes off without a hitch. So they're totally worth it. And that bad experience ended up in me buying the property and everything was fine.
Right.
So, even that wasn't a failure.
I would agree. And I love the site 123notary.com. Go shopping for a notary. It's pretty amazing. Yeah. I think the cheapest I've ever hired a mobile notary was $15. He happened to live like a mile away from the
same town.
Yeah, same town. Yeah. Lived a mile away from the seller. The most I've paid, I think, is probably $50, honestly. So go shopping on 123notary.com. The nice thing is all of the notaries on there, they have like an office address or a home address or whatever where they work from, and you can put that in Google Maps and compare it to your seller's location on Google Maps, figure out where they are, and find a convenient situation for them to help you close.
Yeah.
All right.
Perfect.
That was
number 2?
That was topic number 2.
Right.
All right. Any other questions, comments? You know what we haven't done tonight? We haven't celebrated any wins. Is there anybody watching who's had some sales this week? Maybe they've had a great, I don't know. Maybe they've come into some great deal flow. I don't know. Throw it out there. Chad Swanson, Johnny Clements, Keith Furchet, Nat Pacheco's here. Nat, how's it going? Oh, well, he does have a question.
Canada, Nat. How's Canada?
Nat does have a question. Has anyone tried selling on ClickBank? That sounds like clickbait, but it's ClickBank. No, I've not tried selling on ClickBank. Sounds like fun.
Have you, Nat?
Nope. I don't even know what that is.
I don't either.
I pay people to do this stuff, though. I don't really know. Right? You're like, oh, I haven't hired a mobile notary at all. I'm like, I haven't hired a mobile notary ever. Eric does it. I don't know. It's probably why I spend more like $85 or $90 in mobile notary instead of $50, but whatever. As long as
Chad Swanson.
I don't care.
Chad Swanson sold 2 today. It's just become so, it's so rote. It's just so common for the Swansons to come on Nightcap every week. What's that?
Just sold 2 properties. Like, whatever.
Whatever.
We got to get them on here. We got to start bringing some guests on.
Let's get the Swansons on here.
The Swansons would be that'd be a great episode.
Let's, Chad and Haley, I don't know if you guys can get the little ones to bed next week at a decent time. Let's get you on Nightcap and have a cocktail. I think that'd be fun.
Scott Bosman will send you a Disney movie of your choice. Done. Babysitting done.
Finding Nemo will put that kid to sleep. Oh, telling you.
I love Finding Nemo.
Yeah, I think we got to get some more. What is the audience saying? We need some more guests on here every so often.
We'll get them on. We'll get them on next week. Let's do it. We'll get the Swansons on.
Land business.
We'll get the Swansons on. All right. You guys ready for the third topic?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the third topic I love because I remember thinking to myself, I remember thinking about this probably 5 years ago and thinking to myself that this is just totally not attainable. This is coming from a guy who was working 50 hours a week, holidays, overtime. I was a slave to the system, right? I was not the captain of my fate, which I am now. And there was a book that came out about the time Mike Zano, Matt Forbes, called The 4-Hour Work Week. And just hearing the title of the book gave me anxiety almost. Like, the 4-Hour Work Week, what in the hell? That's not even possible. That's not, I'm not even going to read it because it sounds just goofy. Right? So anyway, there was a post in the group this week by Natalia Jones, And there's a new book out there right now. It's called The 4-Hour Work Day, which 5 years ago I would have probably put a little bit more trust in the 4-hour work day than the 4-hour work week. But here's the thing, like when you pick up this side hustle land and you start just mailing and marketing, you can get to the point where maybe you're working 50 hours a week just by going through the motions and performing the mechanics of this business. You can get down to a 4-hour work day, and then eventually you can get down to a 4-hour work week. But I just want to talk about that briefly. Matt Forbes, it's doable. It's not easy.
Yeah, but like, let's be clear. You're not like, hey, I'm going to go do the land business and like, I'm going to put in 4 hours a week. I swear to God, that's what people think when you say that. Is what you're talking about doable? For sure. Like 100%. Within every fiber of my being, you can do that. Is that year one? No.
Right.
Is it year two?
No.
Is it year three? I really hope it is, because I'm really close to year three, and it'd be lovely if it went down to 4 hours a freaking week. But probably not. Probably in year three is probably legitimately like you could do that if you hustled towards it. But I love the topic. I just don't want people to think that this is all sunshine and rainbows. It's not. It's a lot of freaking work, and it's a lot of faith and a lot of trust and a lot of failing and a lot of getting yourself back up and doing it again. Like, that's the business. Like, if it were easy, everybody would do it because the returns are so good. So right away, you got to know it's not easy, right? It's not, maybe not overly complicated, but it's still like, it's hard. You got to put in the work to do it. So yes, I like your topic. Yes, I agree. It's definitely doable. Yes, one day I want to be there, but I wouldn't want people to think that they can just, couch to 5K and in 3 months you're running the 5K. That's not quite this business, to my knowledge.
Mike Zano, thoughts on this?
Yeah, it's not like you're gonna go to the gym and lift a couple of weights and then look in the mirror and look like Schwarzenegger, right? And look, it's not. It's sort of like there's these ghost hours, right? You're working a 4-hour week because you delegated all these tasks to other people who work the other 36. I mean, that's ultimately what happens. These 40 hours are still getting worked. It's just, it's that book that I love, and I'm just about done, Bossman, Who Not How, which is in line with the 4-hour work week. Like, you literally have to learn processes and develop processes so that you can be replaced and somebody else can do them. So the quicker you learn that, the quicker you move in that direction. Yeah. You will start to scale down. Initially, you're going to be spending a lot of time, but then what's going to happen is you're going to, if you're smart and you structure it correctly, you're going to begin to pull yourself out. Those 40 hours are still going to happen. They're just not going to be all you. Maybe all of a sudden it'll be 38 hours by you and 2 by somebody else. And then maybe it'll be 30 and then 10. I mean, that's how you just pare it down. The hours don't go away. You just don't do them. I think that's important to realize, really, right? Yeah. These things still have to happen. They just don't have to happen by your hand.
Well, that
will take time.
So it brings up an interesting subject, because I had this argument with somebody the other day, and they're like, what you do isn't really passive. And I'm like, well, there's nothing that you really do that's not passive, other than like let your stocks give you whatever return there are, right? Like, it's in one hand what they're saying is correct, but in the other hand, if done properly, you're not the one doing the work, and if done really, really well, somebody else, one other throat to choke, is responsible for all the other people who are really doing the work, and that is pretty damn passive, So like, that's a great way to describe it. Your 20 hours that week is probably done by 60 hours by other people, but it's by other people. And so you go from working the business to working people to eventually replacing that function entirely. Right. So that's a really interesting thing.
You have to think differently, right? It didn't come natural to me. It's not something that I don't have someone go fight the fire for me, right? I don't have someone go do these different tasks. Scott, you don't have someone go do the physical therapy for you, right? While you're at home. And same with you, Matt, with your job. I wouldn't imagine that the thing.
No.
Oh,
Listen,
right.
since the day I was born, if I could get you to go fight the fire and that idiot to go do the PT, I'm in, baby. I don't want to do any of that crap. So I'm the exception to the rule. The only thing
this is just an interesting job or a business that it is somewhat simple in the day-to-day task that it can be outsourced at a price that won't kill you. You don't need experts. You need people that are qualified and capable. So you can do this at a price point that doesn't break the bank, and it does pull you out, and it does give you back what you're looking for, more time in your life. And but you have to earn that. You have to earn that. You have to learn this. That's what the danger of someone who goes at this on their own or with like a toolkit, whatever, is that they may overwork themselves right out of the business. They may mail 7,000 offer letters without proper guidance, and they may just be like, "This is a bunch of malarkey. Like, this doesn't work. I'm out." They're not gaining traction because their focus isn't on the parts of the business that are going to give them the results that are going to inspire them to move forward. So you just have to be careful. That's mentorship or some sort. Like, it's an investment to save you time.
Yeah. I loosely know somebody in the business who's ahead of me in passive or spread. And they literally he's like, "I'm out." I'm like, "What do you mean you're out?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm going to go do this other thing now." He's like, it was too much work. And I'm like, I think you're missing the point of that work. Like, you never outsourced it. He's a guy who did everything himself, all of it, him. And I'm like, you never won the day. Like, you never got the business done. And he's like, "Oh, I'm ahead of you." And I'm like, that's not the business. That's the money. That's a different thing, and good for you. Right. But, you can't do it all yourself. You've got to pass that stuff off, or you do get totally burned out, which is crazy. And it happens for sure. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
Great topic.
Let me read Natalia's post quick. Natalia Jones says she got to preview a copy of this book before its release, and it's incredible if you're trying to become more productive in business and wanting to balance life and business, or you're tired of working 9 to 5 and you want your life back. This book is for you. Makes a great stocking stuffer. It's The 4-Hour Work Day by John Robert Quinn. And here's what I would have to say, in just to follow up what you gentlemen said, because I totally agree with everything you just said. This business makes it possible to cut your 40-hour work week in half, and then cut that in half, and then cut that in half. It really does.
Sure.
It's way to look at it. I like that.
It's all about because this business, you can scale this business. You can outsource almost every aspect of this business to where you get to the point, Matt Forbes, where you are bringing in $10K a month passive income, and you're barely working in your land business. Now, your wife might be doing a little bit more, but listen, is she doing more than 4 hours a day in the business?
Oh my God, no.
Right.
I'm coming close.
Has she quit her job? Has Anne-Marie quit her job?
Yes.
And how long did that take? A couple years.
Couple years. No, look, I'm not trying to be the negative guy. Like,
I know you're not.
I'm here with you guys every Thursday, except last week when I forgot, because I believe in the business. Like, I want someone to look at me and be like, wow, if that freaking moron can do this, then I can do this. Because whoever that person is right, because you can. You just got to go. You just got to go do it the right way. And I believe the way that I did it is the right way. That's why I hang out with you. That's why I'm as involved as I am in Land Geek. What was that? What'd you say?
I thought you liked us.
I said, "Oh, thanks."
Well, no, and I like.
That's why you hang out with us.
Like,
oh,
nice
thanks.
To talk land.
All right, fellas. Good show. We have one last question. Let's close out with this question. This is from Zach Johnson. Zach, nice to see you. Join us at the Flight School Q&A Monday the 23rd, 9 p.m. Eastern. Scott Todd is attending. We're giving away a free piece of land, where Mark is.
Nice.
Join us. Good evening. Way off topic, simple question. Once a seller has signed and
Good evening.
has a deed notarized transferring ownership to you, what is the best way for them to get the deed to you? Email, fax, snail mail, no difference. Well, it depends on how you're going to record.
I like an email and snail mail.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Email and snail mail, but it does depend on how you record the deed. If you're recording the deed via Simply File, you can have an electronic copy. If you're recording the deed via snail mail, you need the real copy.
Correct. Like, I mean, I did one. We had one today where the seller was like, I need a cashier's check, and I'm like, no, like I'm not doing that cashier's check business again. Like, we're not doing that again. That was a disaster last time. So I said, like, I tell you what, we'll split it down the difference. You send me an email of the signed deed. I'll send you one of our business checks. When the check clears, the money's in your account, then you send us the original, because that's what I really want. Like, I was like, okay. Like, it went through Simply File today, so I already own the property.
Right.
It's a beautiful thing, right?
But if you're working in county, Matt Forbes, where Simply File is not an option, you need the real deed.
You do, and so there you run a little bit of risk, or you're probably more like a perceived risk, right? So do you either use a person on every transaction, which I did in the beginning, or do you eventually just get to the place where, like, you're going to send them a check and they're going to send you the deed? And I'm at that place where I almost always just send them a check, unless it's an unreasonable amount of money, and then I get the deed back. But I like to see the electronic copy, anyways, Bosman, even though it does me no good, just so I know that they actually got it notarized.
I agree.
So I still follow that same process, but yeah.
I agree. All right, fellas, another nightcap under wraps. Mark did join us at the end. The Godfather.
He did.
He commented nothing, and this is a great way to close the show. Nothing worth doing is easy, but the model is simple. And I would just add to that, let us teach you how to do this. Let us teach you. Come to the Flight School Q&A.
Also, this is important to say, Mark, if you're unhappy with your microphone, I think you should call me so we can talk about it, because I'm disappointed that you're unhappy with it and that you haven't reached out to me for technical support. So,
Mark on the call now?
That hurts my feelings.
Is he on the
he
call?
was. Yeah, he was.
He was on the call, but he might be.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's still on or not, but
You tell us. The Godfather's here. You didn't
I
tell
just
us.
said. I just said. Barry Ribs, great show. Is this every Wednesday night? Barry Ribs, it's either every Wednesday night or every Thursday night. It depends on the firefighter schedule. So next week, Zano, what is it next week?
Next week's Thanksgiving.
Oh, next week's Thanksgiving. Are we going to do... You want to do like a Tuesday nightcap?
Like a special Thanksgiving nightcap?
A Wednesday?
We talk about what we're thankful for?
Wednesday nightcap?
What did you say? What night?
Wednesday, Tuesday.
We'll get back to you.
You're on vacation
No.
next week.
Possibly.
Oh,
All right, well, let's talk about this. The Godfather's still here. He says he loves his mic. Just fix his Mac issue. Still on.
Oh, wait. Wow, shocking. Ladies and gentlemen, shocking. The microphone worked. The MacBook was
Really?
the problem. What a surprise. What a surprise.
Go.
I just like to pile
Black
on.
Friday's coming, Mark, you can get a Surface desktop like me on Black Friday.
Hey, what did you pay for your Surface? Because that...
I haven't got it. I'm waiting for Black Friday.
Oh, those are expensive, too. Look at those.
They're spending.
$8,000? That is spending.
How much?
$789, $899,
Oh, you're
$399. Depends on what you want.
Yeah, but you're
talking,
not. But he's talking
Get the desktop.
He's talking the desktop Forbes.
I didn't even know they made a desktop.
Yeah. Scott Todd has one. I'm getting one.
Yeah, that sounds aggressive. I'm not gonna lie. That sounds aggressive.
All right, fellas.
Okay.
Love you.
All right,
Love
boys.
you. We'll talk to you later. Thanks for a good show.
All right, guys.
We'll talk soon.